Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Taylor Haselton. I'm so excited. This is my first video reviewing one of my subscribers' books. So if you haven't already, feel free to submit your book for review if you'd like me to do a video on it and kind of give you my tips and opinions. Before we get started, I just want to start this video saying that I don't claim to be a professional. I don't claim to be an expert. These are all just my opinions and I don't guarantee anything. I especially don't guarantee any sales. So let me show you the form in case you're interested. It looks like this. You post a link of your book here, add what keywords that you used for your book and how you validated your niche. And then also you just understand that I'll be showing this book on my channel, so everybody will be able to see your book, your author name, description, everything like that. So if you don't want it to be public and shown on my YouTube channel, then I don't recommend submitting a book for review. So the first book I'm reviewing today, I'm going to be doing one book per video. So this is my very first one, and it's going to be this book here. I'm not sure who submitted it. You can do it anonymously. And I most likely won't be sharing anybody's names anyways, just to keep their name private. So this author is Channel Moon, and I'll start there. So I honestly think that's actually a really cool name for an author. I don't think it really includes any keywords related to the book at all, but this is a high content book. It's not a low content book. I only have one published high content book right now, so I'm definitely not as knowledgeable in this field, but I will do my best to give you my advice on why I think you may not be getting as many sales as you'd like to. So for your author name for a high content book, I think this is fine. I think that it's not super related to your book, but for a pen name, it actually sounds pretty cool. So I think that's okay. And let me just scroll down here to see if there's a BSR, and there isn't yet. So if that's accurate, this book hasn't made sales yet, but it was just published August 20th, 2022. So not for very long. So let me start with the title. It says The Ugly Ones Refuses to Die Africa Comedy. So my first thing would be there's a typo here. The Ugly Ones Refuses to Die. The refuses is plural, and when you have the ones there, it should just be refuse. So ugly ones refuse. So that typo there might be a reason why you're not getting any sales. And then for Africa comedy, I'm not sure if you mean Africa, like just Africa, or if you mean African comedy. I'm not entirely sure where you're going there. So that may be another typo, which would also turn some people potentially away. And also, if any of you comment on this and provide any tips or suggestions, please be nice. This is not a place to rag on anybody. I want to say that it is so hard to publish books, especially ones that you work really hard on. So I think everybody does an amazing job when they publish their book. There are just things to work on. Like it's an amazing accomplishment to just publish a book here. So be kind, give suggestions if you'd like to, but just remember we're all human beings and kindness goes a long way. So moving on to your description, it says an African comedy with interesting characters. So you don't need to capitalize all the words if you're doing a sentence here. I would add a period and lowercase some of the words. I also would add more of a description. It doesn't really tell me much about the book, so if I was just looking onto here, I'd have no idea really what the book was about. I just know that it was a comedy and has to do with Africa and there's interesting characters, but that's really broad. So I recommend writing a more detailed description, give the viewers a little taste of the book, or something to catch their attention. So now looking at the book and the cover, I'm not really sure what the cover is. I can't really see the background. So I think maybe choosing a different background that's more clear. I can read the words. The ones here is a little hard to read, and I think there might be an apostrophe after the E, so I'm not really sure. There might not be, actually. But I would just make your title clearer, and I would work on your cover design a bit more. I just am not really sure what the background is. You can always go to Fiverr and hire somebody to do it as well, or you can play around yourself. But the cover may be a reason people aren't clicking on the book either. And then scrolling down, it says dedication and then lists a lot of people here. I'm not sure if these are the characters or if these are people you're dedicating the book to. So I would maybe verify that. And then it looks like, it says Act 1, Scene 1. It looks like this is more of like a play than an actual book. So I would possibly maybe verify in your title if this is a play. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not super knowledgeable at high content books, but I would definitely work on the spelling errors and get a title that sticks out more. And then also verify your interior is correct with those things that I mentioned. And then for pricing, I think you have a good price. $8.99. I'm not sure what the books go for your specific niche, but it may be a little bit expensive. A lot of paperback books I've seen are like $5.99. However, I've also seen some that are $14.99. So honestly, being at $8.99 probably isn't that bad. It's 89 pages. It's 8.27 inches by 11.69 inches. So it's a pretty good sized book. So honestly, that's probably a good price for this book. That would be my guess. And now moving on to the keywords that this person submitted, they didn't write how they validated their niche, but they did put down 4 different keywords. I'm going to go over 2 of the keywords because you can do the same thing for the other 2. So I just typed them in here. First keyword was African novel. It has a niche score of 11 and over 60,000 results. So this is really not a good keyword to use. It is related to your book, however, so I agree it's good to have it in there, but in order for search results, for 60,000, that's a lot, and a niche score of 11 is really low. So I wouldn't want this to be how I validated my niche. But if this is something you're really passionate about and that's why you created the book, then it's okay. And the second one is comedy, which has a score of 24 and over 100,000 results. So very competitive, not a high score. So again, too broad of a keyword here. You need to really get more specific about what your keywords are. Like instead of comedy, maybe African novel with comedy, that might have less. Or if this is a play, like a comedy script in Africa, something like that. You can just search on your own and do the same thing for your other 2 keywords. But as of right now, this book is not searchable according to just these keywords. So unless someone searches exactly what you have here, they're most likely not going to find it unless you're going to use ads. So I think there's a couple things to work on here, but I do want to say, like, congrats on submitting a book to KDP. That's a huge step in itself. So don't be discouraged. And I really hope that this was helpful and that there are things here for you to work on. I don't want to come across mean at all. So I apologize if I do. I am simply trying to give my advice and help. And just the fact that you published a book to KDP is a really big accomplishment. So pat yourself on the back for that. And then just work on some things that I suggested if you would like to. These are all my own opinions. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. And I hope that it works out. The high content books, I'm still figuring out. I only have one of my own right now that I wrote myself. So I think with high content, it is a bit harder to have searchable content because your titles are usually a little random, I think, or things people aren't always searching. So that's where keywords really come into play. So try to find some really competitive keywords, like ones that you can compete with the competition, but don't have as many search results. Look for ones under 1,000 search results and try to get your book searched that way. And if you can, maybe try ads. But I would definitely fix at least the typos and add more of a description before doing that, because I think those are turning off the readers, as well as working on your title and in your book cover and your interior a bit. So thank you so much for submitting your book. I am so excited to look over more books that all of you have submitted. If you'd like to submit your own, I'll have the link in the description below, and I also have it on the community page here. If you scroll down, it's a few posts down. I have it listed twice. Here it is, and here it is again. So if you'd like me to submit to look over your book and review it and give you my own opinions, then please feel free to do that, but don't feel obligated. You do not have to. And I really hope that this was helpful. I appreciate you submitting to the form, whoever you are. I greatly appreciate the support. And thank you all so much for watching and listening. I hope you all have a great day.